Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another Matinee production. I'm your host, your information guru, Will. And man, just when I think the left can't get any worse, they say, "Hold my beer." I mean, it's amazing what I found on Twitter yesterday. If you haven't seen this, you've probably heard it on a radio program, a conservative radio program, or whatever. It was yesterday, so sometimes if you don't get on and put your opinion out fast enough in like 15 seconds after something hit, you're late to the party. Well, hopefully I'm not too late that I can give you a little bit of information. And what disturbed me, what I saw on Twitter, I literally thought when I saw this document, I thought it was a joke. I thought it was like a parody somebody put out to show the stupidity and wokeness. And to my surprise, I was blown away that it was not a parody. It was not a joke. It was a real document used, funded by taxpayers, because it was a document put out by the Smithsonian, specifically a subset of the Smithsonian Institute, the National Museum of African American History and Culture. And what this document was, and I'm not making this up, it's called The Aspects and Assumptions of Whiteness and White Culture in the United States. Now, I'm going to read through this, and I'm going to try to make this video very short, but it's going to be really hard because it's a lot to swallow. But the pure idiocy, if there's a word, stupidity, is beyond belief. What they consider to be what white is and what people of color don't do, because this is what white people do. So let me give you the introduction first. White dominant culture, or whiteness, refers to the ways white people and their traditions, attitudes, and ways of life have been normalized over time and are now considered standard practices in the United States. So therefore, they're saying that white culture is now the norm. But hasn't white culture or American culture always been the norm? Hasn't it always had additions to it, because you had different groups of people from other countries come here? And yes, even slaves contribute to the American culture. So I wouldn't necessarily call it the white culture, because white people have different cultures within their culture. Not everybody white is from the same place. You have Italians, you have Irish, you have Polish. So their traditions introduced into their families may not be the same as somebody from Iceland or Greenland or even Canada. So there's no such thing as really a white culture. So what they're really trying to say, there is something wrong with American culture, which they assume, and you know what happens when you assume that is white culture. So right off the bat, people who are supposed to be educated, have all these degrees, don't even know how to break this kind of stuff down. Let me continue. And since white people still hold most of the institutional power in America, we have all internalized some aspects of white culture, including people of color. Why? Yes, because we all live together. I mean, you got white people who like to listen to hip hop. You got black people who like to listen to rock. You got all types of people who like to go do stuff that's considered white or considered black. It's really just things people like to do. But let me continue. This is what they consider to be what white people do and what people of color don't. And the shared traditions that white people have that people of color don't. It's about to blow your freaking mind. Rugged individualism. This is what white people do. White people are the individual as the primary unit. Self-reliance is considered white. Independence and autonomy, highly valued and rewarded, is considered white. Individuals assumed to be in control of their environment. You get what you work for, considered white. Oh, here's the kicker, which should really piss people off. The nuclear family, the father, the mother, 2.3 children is the ideal social unit. That is considered white. So to be a baby daddy, to be a baby mama, to have two mommies and two daddies, that's like really something heroic and something to stand up for. But oh no, don't get married, and especially don't get married and then have kids, because guess what? You're supposed to do the opposite in order to be woke. You're supposed to be a baby daddy, baby mama, or two mama, or two baby mamas, or two baby daddies. You're supposed to do it the wrong way in order to be not white. How idiotic are the This is what you're voting for when you're voting for a Democrat, for a progressive, for a POS. The husband is a breadwinner and head of household. The wife is homemaker and subordinate to the husband. Now, I can tell you, I'm married. My wife is not subordinate to me. I can guarantee you that my wife would not put up with that shit whatsoever. So that's not a white thing, but that's what they're trying to tell you. I don't know what century this person has come back from to write this bullshit, but it's not the truth. But that's what they think white culture is. Children should have their own rooms and be independent. I don't even get that one, but let us continue. The emphasis on the scientific method, objective, rational, linear thinking. That one blew me the hell away. So only white people have objective, rational, and linear thinking. Because guess what? Because if that's the case, that means that everybody else is subjective, irrational, and have irregular ways of thinking. So that means that black people just all over the place, erratic and emotional. That means Latinos erratic and emotional. But white people are calm, cool, and collected. They know how to think. Cause and effect relationships. So if you hit a hammer on a nail and the nail goes through the board, cause and effect. Black people and brown people don't believe in that. Quantitative emphasis. Okay, moving on. Here's another one that I thought is going to blow you away. Hard work is the key to success. Work before you play. And if you didn't meet your goals, you didn't work hard enough. Now, I've seen more memes on Facebook and Instagram with corny people putting up corny memes about, yeah, man, you gotta hustle hard, and every other corny garbage you can put out there to be positive. And I'm just sitting here like, but this is what white people do? So that means, let's put it in perspective. Black and brown people and people of Asian descent, hard work is not the key to success in our culture. We play before we work, which means that we just out there just a lollygagging and being crazy and lazy and not want to do no work, master. And if you didn't meet your goals, you know why? You didn't work hard enough? No. If you didn't meet your goals, that means the white man was holding you down. You are not the reason why you didn't get that job or car, because, just because you were late every day, just because you didn't put in the hours, maybe because you went on vacation and used up all your days in January, but you know what? That's not your fault that you didn't get the job, that you didn't get the promotion. It's because the white man's systematic racism is keeping you down. There's more. It's mind-boggling. Like, it really is. Like, here's another one for you. You'll like these. Oh, let me get this right here. Future orientation. White people plan for the future. They delay gratification. Progress is always best. And guess what? White people, it's their culture to believe tomorrow will be better. Oh, and also, white people follow rigid time schedules, and they view time time is viewed as a commodity from white people. So that means that, no, black people just do what they want to. Brown people just do what they want to. They get there when they get there. And hey, man, time viewed as a commodity. No, your time isn't precious. I'm just going to do what the hell I want to. I'll tell you I'll be there in 15 minutes, but I get there in 2 hours, nigga. You be all right. You be cool. It's great. That's what that. I mean, honestly, when I'm reading this could be something put out by the Klan. But it is put out by the Klan because the Democratic Party started the Klan. I mean, the Democratic Party is the Jim Crow Party. They are the ones who wanted, they are the segregationists. I mean, progressives started the Civil War. So honestly, I shouldn't be surprised that they think this way. And this is supposed to be woke, people. This is supposed to be woke. This was supposed to put white people in their place. Oh, you're going to love these. White people on competition. They want to be number one. I guess people of color don't. They want to win at all costs. Because, progressives only, they put out these participation trophies, and that's why all these little assholes are out there burning shit down. They believe in winners and losers. Guess what? Black people and brown people don't. They're action oriented. They believe in controlling nature. White people always have to do something about a situation. White people are aggressive and extroverts. White people are decision makers. And guess what? Majorities rule only when white people are the majority. See, this is the epitome of what wokeness is. But see, in a way, think about what they're doing. This is telling you what they really think about people of color. It's just like when they're talking about voter rights and disenfranchisement, when they're talking about voter IDs, and they're saying that, well, black people can't get IDs. So I'm like, wait a minute, I got an ID in my pocket right now. My mama has an ID. My daddy got an ID. My wife has an ID. I know those three black people all got IDs, so we can't get because they said expecting a black person to have to travel to the BMV in order to get a state issued ID with a picture on it is asking them to do something out of the ordinary. That is pure ignorance and these are white progressives. There's a video out there that you should look on YouTube. Ari Horowitz. This guy's great. He goes out and does these really great men on the street segments. And the segment is about black people being asked if they know where their BMV is, and white people asking them, and then he asked a bunch of white kids at a university close to a black neighborhood if black people know how to get to their BMV. And the stuff that came out of these so-called woke progressive minds, what blew me away. They said that we don't expect black people to know where their BMV is. We don't expect black people to be able to afford an ID. Whoa. And then black people were like, yeah, I know where the BMV is. It's over there on 116. This is what white progressives believe. I listened to a black policeman talk about how other black and brown people during a protest wanted to talk to him about George Floyd. And white women and white people ran up to him and blocked the other people from talking to him, saying, don't talk to him. Malcolm X said it best. The white liberal is way more dangerous to people of color than any Klansman has ever been. And I'm paraphrasing that. But if you want to watch the video, I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube somewhere, that you can find when Malcolm X talks about the white liberal. He, in essence, says the white liberal is way more dangerous than any white conservative, because they try to pretend to be your friend while they stab you in the back. It's absolutely amazing to me how just evil, pure, utter evil, we have seen from the left and their racism and what they think, and what they truly think of black folks. Now, if you're hearing some kind of like click in the background, that is my dog drinking water, so I do apologize for that in advance. But yes. It's absolutely amazing. He kind of threw me off my train of thought too, because evidently that little dude is like super thirsty. He's like really thirsty. So if you heard him drinking his water, he's thirsty. But anyway, I was trying to make this a shorter video, but man, it's this kind of stuff is what I'm talking about. And a lot of people got angry at me in my last video because I was talking about how Trump is losing the election. I'm sorry, sometimes we gotta face facts. I'm not saying he's going to lose the election. He's losing it now if he doesn't turn it around. Trump is really honestly a symbol of, not because we're not really voting for Trump. We're voting against Democrats. We're voting against communism and socialism and Marxism. We're voting to save our country. He's just the symbol. He's that person we need to put in office and keep him there so that the Marxists of Black Lives Matter, the anarchists and socialists and communists of Antifa don't get a chokehold on this country, and it'll be all over. Because people aren't going to stand for that. And I don't want to see a civil war in this country. I got a child coming, and I want him to be in a world where he can be at peace and not live through something as horrendous as war. Because I honestly believe, I have my degrees in history, ethnic studies, political science. And I'm telling you, one of my favorite things to study was the Civil War period and what led up to the Civil War. And I'm guaranteeing you, we are in that type of environment. The only thing keeping us from killing each other by the hundreds of thousands is because America is so prosperous and so rich. And everybody has so much. Even people who are on entitlements like welfare and Social Security can afford to buy themselves a flat screen TV. And, the average home is not people destitute in the gutter somewhere. That's how rich this country is, that even our poor can have some type of luxuries. Because I guarantee you, if we were poor as like Colombia or Venezuela or Cuba or something, place like that, we would have been at war years ago under Barack Obama. So I'm just saying we are lucky, but in order to keep what we have to fight for it. And right now, I don't think Trump is fighting hard enough. He needs to turn it around. He needs to be smarter because he's being outsmarted by the press, which is the Democratic propaganda wing of the Democratic Party. He's being outsmarted by social media, which is the IT wing of the Democratic Party. I'm talking Twitter, I'm talking YouTube, I'm talking Instagram, Facebook. They're all parts of the Democratic Party. Hollywood is beating us down. They are part of the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party machine is truly the ones who are in control of the system. And it's no coincidence that all the stuff that you see happening with George Floyd and Khalil Castile and all these other people who are getting shot by cops are getting shot in Democrat cities, because Democrat cities are usually the bigger cities with the bigger black population, because black people keep putting these so-called woke progressives in office when there really are people who really hate you and what you look like, and they feel sorry for you and they pity you. Do not mistake their compassion for something good. It is something that they see, because the compassion is not compassion, it's pity. And on that note, I'm going to drop this video. I hope you like and subscribe. But man, if you don't believe me, go to the website for the National Museum of African American History and Culture. Look on your Twitter feed, Google it. I don't know, Google may have taken it down by now because they don't want to expose the left for who they are. But I guarantee you, it will blow you away. Read everything and just comment below and let me know what you guys think. And on that, I'm going to say, keep knocking them out from the right. Have a good day and a better tomorrow.